All right. A young monk arrives at the monastery and he's assigned the job of monks in copying. You know how they're in a room and they have the thing they're copying from, and they're very carefully. They don't have Xerox machines, right? He notices, however, that all the monks are copying from the same copies. Okay. So they're copying from copies. And he asked the lead monk, he says, how do you know somebody didn't make a mistake way back and copy the wrong thing down? So the head monk says, well, we have been copying for centuries. Tell you what, he said, we'll go down into the deep cellars of our area, the vault, and we'll check it out. So they venture down there, they pull out the original, and both of them are looking at the original. And he sees the head monk hanging his head down. He says, they missed the R. I can't believe they missed the R, the bloody R. His forehead is all bloody because he's beaten against the wall and bruised. And he's crying uncontrollably. The young man asks the old abbot, what's wrong, Father? With a choking voice, the old abbot replies, they missed the R. The word was celebrate.
Oh, no.
That was good, Bill.
Yes. Oh, me.
Oh,
Tip of the day. Tip of the day. Next on the agenda is the little calculator. I'm going to share screens with you for a moment. Okay. And okay, you should be looking at the
Your iPhone and your
Oh.
iPad.
you got it. So I'm going to go to the iPad. I don't see the calculator there on that screen, so I'm going to go find it. The way I do that is I put my finger right in the middle of the screen there, click down, and I type in CAL, there's the calculator. All right, so we're going to enter some digits.
turn this on.
4454. And the way in which you get rid of digits, let's say you type this all in, you could click on cancel. That would cancel the whole thing. Okay, but you can put your finger on the top row where the numbers are and sweep it to the right, and it gets rid of one digit at a time.
That's a lesson.
So it's a pretty cool little feature. So you put your finger on it and just sweep to the left. You also should know that if you turn your phone to the left, it turns into a scientific calculator.
Whoa.
Oh,
Ah,
Ah,
Something you always wanted, I know.
yes. Really?
Right.
How do you do that?
Yeah, I just turned my phone horizontal instead of vertical, landscape instead of portrait.
Ah.
Okay,
Ah.
I guess that's 2 hints.
I don't have the.
You know how much that calculator costs? This one?
Yes.
This
Yes.
one? When I went to college, right? It was a Texas Instrument calculator. It was about the size of a shoebox. No, it wasn't that big. You know, it was like $300
wow.
back then.
Yes.
More than that, Bill, when I started working back in the mid 1960s,
Yeah,
and I was in the quality control department, and I needed a calculator that would, it was a desk calculator, the new electronic ones that would cost, that would sit on your desk to replace the old Frieden kind of calculators.
Right.
And I had two models, and I needed the more expensive one because it had a square root key for statistical stuff. And the calculator, the regular calculator on the desk was $600,
Yeah.
and the one with the square root key was $1,200. And I had to get capital approval for $1,200 for a square root key.
Okay.
And today's throwaway calculators all have square root keys.
Yeah.
Does this have square root?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
it does.
The scientific one does, yes.
So I go
This
this
one,
way,
if you
right
move it,
there. I saw it on there.
Is there an update or something you're supposed to get to be able to do that? Because I have a phone that's not doing it.
You have the right calculator.
What
do you mean by that?
Calculator.
There are many apps that are called calculator. You need the one that looks like, let me pull it up.
Yep.
That looks like this. It has that icon.
That's what mine look more or less, no, well, more or less mine looks like.
Exactly like this. 'Cause
If her screen is locked, it won't do it either.
say again, please.
If her screen is locked, it
Oh,
won't
Screen
rotate.
rotation.
Won't rotate. There you go.
Yes.
Thank you.
thank you.
Wow. Oh, thank you. That's,
Okay.
However, I don't know when I'd ever use it that way.
yeah.
So last week we covered the buttons and the screen and the apps. And we even talked a bit about the keyboard and how to use the keyboard and some little tips and tricks on using the keyboard. This week, we're going to talk about settings. So I'm going to go to settings on both my devices. Okay. And the first item on settings is your name at the top. Okay. So you can click your name there. You notice how I have my picture in there as well. So I click my name. And if you want, and up pops this menu that says Apple ID at the top. On both the iPhone and the iPad. And if you ever wonder what your Apple ID is, it's always right there below your name. And you could put your picture in there by clicking on edit and then just take a photo. And that's what I did in the case where mine's up there.
must have a cold.
You could also, by the way, pick a photo of some trees or whatever, right? Cute puppy you could put as your picture. All right. It has name, phone number, and email, right? If you click that,
Reachable at same page.
you get this to come up. It has your name, the phone number that's associated with your account, a couple of email addresses. It has your birthday. And if you tap edit, you can edit many of these things.
Does the order matter on the reachable by app?
Say again, please.
You're reachable at about 4 different locations. I've got the same thing. Does it matter what order those are in, or just those are all just possible ways of connecting to you?
Bill, I'm not sure. I think the first one is obviously my Apple account.
Yeah.
The second is my phone number for my cell phone. Third is my Apple email address. All right, we go back. Password insecurity. Right? Here's where you could change your password. And I believe if you change your, well, I'll click it. I don't want to change it. At this point, I think it only requires your login code for your device, your 4 or 6 digit or 8 digit code, whatever you've decided on. That's all it requires to change your Apple password.
I did that.
Because if I put that number in, it just asks for the new password that you want. So if ever you forget your Apple password, here's a great place to go to reset it. I mean, yeah, your Apple password.
That on the iPhone too?
I believe it's the same on the iPhone. Yep.
You have to get into it though.
This is where we change our password.
Say again,
If you forget the password, how are you gonna
Diane, I
get
can't hear you very well.
Bill,
Yep.
do you have the recovery key turned on or off?
Where are we at here? Account
Under
recovery?
password and security? It may be called, my phone is older. It may not be the same title.
Where are you asking me about?
Okay, recovery key.
Account recovery?
It's on my phone. I'm on my phone.
I'm looking at my phone. Is it account recovery?
It just says recovery key. Under
Password and security.
and security.
I'm in passwords and security on my phone. And I have
What about
two-factor
account
authentication.
recovery? Was that, I beg your pardon?
And it's
Bill, I think we've got a revision thing because recovery key is what I have on my phone because I haven't gone to 15 yet. On yours, it says account recovery, which is, and it goes to a menu, which is, I think, the same place, just with iOS 15.
okay. I haven't used that one yet. AD,
Oh, okay.
but it looks like a cool thing to have that they.
Yes,
It's
it says
there.
it increases the security of your account.
Say again, please.
It says using a recovery key increases the security of your account. When you create one, the only way to reset your password is by using another device already signed in with your Apple ID or
Okay.
by entering your recovery key.
It should be off or on.
Mine is off, and I don't know if that's the
Yeah,
right one to use
I
or
don't-
not.
Mine is.
I don't use that particular feature.
Okay.
I have recovery keys off.
What your recovery key says on your phone is not what it says on the iPad.
Is that right?
Yes. That is all. When you create one, the only way to reset your password is by using another device. But no, I said it's the same.
There it says it.
Yeah. But again, I have the latest version of iOS. By the way, iOS 15 came out earlier this week,
Oh,
and I've installed it on all my devices. So I may be a little bit different than you may.
Yeah, that add recovery contact is new for 15. You can allow your spouse to help you recover your phone if you forgot your password. They don't have access to your data, but they can help you recover yours
Okay.
It has to be your spouse.
under recovery assistance
See it there?
on the iPad.
On the iPad and the iPhone, it's there.
Yes.
So what I do is I add, go ahead, Greg, I add a recovery contact, and then what happens? Or we don't know.
Then if you forget your password, somehow they can help you get in, recover your password on your device.
Okay,
I don't know exactly how it works, but I know it's a new function for 15.
yep. Are we talking about the passcode or the password? We're talking about the password? Okay,
I have a question.
yes.
I'm looking at my software and it says I have iOS 15, but it also says there's a update that I should download and install. But if I've already got 15, why would I do that?
That's a security update.
That's after, that was before. So did
So
you,
this is not on the phone, correct? That recovery?
no, it's on both when you get iOS 15.
Yeah, I had that.
So you should have the recovery thing there.
Wait a minute.
I'm going back.
Okay,
Right, and there I am. Here I am at settings. Then I tap my name,
mm-hmm,
and then I tap passwords and security. And then I tap account recovery.
oh, I have it off.
And so do I.
Hmm?
I think I have it off as well.
But how do you get somebody else's
Well,
information?
no, you're not getting somebody else's information.
No. If you know, your husband or whatever.
You see where it says add account, add recovery account? I think that's where you start. And we can go there at some other time.
Okay,
All right, but I haven't done it yet, so I'm not sure how it's going to work.
You still haven't answered my question. If I've got
I'm gonna go
15.0,
there. Is it on the iPhone or iPad, dear?
the iPhone, I just got my new iPhone yesterday and it says the software version is 15. And then when I go in, it tells me there's a new one to download and install.
You can see what it looks like on my phone. And my iPad. Right, so I'm not sure what that is.
I think when you buy a new phone, it's loaded with a certain software, and it may not be as new as the actual one that they released.
Maybe a beta or something like that.
And so you have to update it.
And it should be what was on my old iPhone because it did a recovery.
No, all the data
No.
is there. We're not talking about the data. We're talking about the operating system in this case.
It wouldn't take the operating system from the recovery?
No,
No, it has
Okay.
to rebuild that.
Okay, I will go and do that after our class.
post
I
haste.
think last night I got a new iPad mini for my wife. And and it was 15, but when we went through setup, there was a small update that I had to go through because it was a brand new device. And it probably was built with something before the official release thing. But because this was a brand new unit and we still had an update to do it, even though I got it last night.
Well, that's exactly what Sharon's saying.
Yep.
Bill, is that the only device she uses? She doesn't have a computer, she just uses the mini?
She just uses the mini. She never had a computer, and she's had an original iPad mini. When they first came out, we got a special deal on one through when I was upgrading a phone. I got a $100. I got a mini, but it's old enough that it was no longer updating. iOS 12 was the last she could update. So I held off until the new mini because it was such a major upgrade, I held off until the new minis came. And she just got it last night. So we turned it on last night and got it going. The only thing I saw that was different physically was both the on-off button and the volume buttons are on the top of the mini.
Yes.
Yes. Well, the screen's bigger though.
The screen is slightly bigger. The unit itself is slightly smaller.
That's interesting.
Any other questions on passwords and security?
No. I would ask Lois. She might. Oh, no.
Let's go to payment and shipping. This is for when you're using Apple Pay.
Oh, we don't use that.
When you buy an app or something like that, here's where you would put the credit card.
Yeah, his just has a flag on it, doesn't it?
Somebody talking to us.
Oh, well, let me check later this afternoon. I'll do some searching too and see if I can find something for you.
You're talking to who, Sharon?
You're welcome.
All right. See where it says Bank America? That's the credit card I'm using when I buy an app or do anything on my iPhone or iPad. You could add a payment method here. You want to put in your shipping address as well. Last but not least, and one I really like is the subscriptions. If we go to subscriptions, it shows me the various subscriptions that I have active. Okay. Those that I have tried and terminated, that I could get back at any time I want. Okay. I downloaded a translate app from someone, and they had a subscription service where you paid so much a month to use the translate function. Apple has a translate function that's free, so I decided not to use that one.
Right.
Right, I have Disney Plus, Apple Plus, and Apple News as my subscriptions. Okay, so the nice thing about this is I can go into, let's say I wanted to terminate my Disney Plus. Okay, this is how much it is a month, and I can cancel the subscription at any time. So it really is nice in that it's that easy to cancel.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
You like that feature? So do I, by the way.
Right now.
That's how I quickly got rid of some of these. Okay. The next thing on that list, if you click your name, is the iCloud. And it shows you how much iCloud storage you currently have. I'm going to click on that. And it gives me a little pictorial chart I'll do the same on my phone. Gives me a little bar graph, if you will, on what different items I have that's taking up my storage. So I'm using only 12.5 of 50 gigabytes. And I had to go to 50 from 5. The initial amount that Apple gives you is 5. And if your number says 4.8 there right now, you might want to upgrade or manage your storage, is what it's called. So I have photos, backups, docs, and others, right? If I go to the arrow here and click it, right? It shows me what I'm using and what apps are using the space. Okay. If I want to change my storage plan, it's as simple as clicking on the arrow on the right and updating it. Now, if you're only using 3 gigabytes and you have a 50 gigabyte plan, you're paying 99 cents a month. You don't have to. And you could revert back to getting yours for free until you filled up the 5 gigabytes. On the other hand, if you have 49 gigabytes and you're running out, you would go to the 200 gigabytes plan. So this chart gives you an idea of how much the app is taking up. So if you have GarageBand there, it's taking up a lot of space. And at this point right here, you could click the arrow and delete the app. Well, come on, Health, come up. Okay. We can do notes. I could delete the data from my Notes app. I went to, whoa. I go down here to voice memo, right?
Sorry, I can't control your music here.
I could delete the data from voice memo. This would not delete the app. This would delete the data. This one would delete documents and data, right? So you get the idea about the various applications.
I know.
Yeah. All right. So if I scroll up here to photos, right? That's my big user of data, 6 gigabytes. These are the different files for the different devices I have. All right. I don't need to spend any more time there. The other one of interest might be Find My, right? And here's where you could add family members. we're friends. So there's my daughter-in-law, and I could, if she allowed me, I could find her wherever she is if she allowed me. And there's my wife, and she's not giving me permission to track her iPhone. Okay. Find My iPad is on. All right. Now I'm going to switch out of my name at the top and start going down through the list. So if you're on your phone, you keep going back till it says settings at the top. On your iPads, I'm going to go down through the left-hand panel. Airplane mode. You turn that on when you get on an airplane, and you'll notice when you do it, you get a little airplane in the upper right-hand side of your screen.
Bill, you don't have to do that anymore.
They still ask you to.
No, they don't. Where?
You did in the last flight I took. The main reason I like it is they request people to do it so they're not on their phone talking to something and bothering everybody on the plane. Okay. That's the main reason for it today, I believe. The next one there is your Wi-Fi.
Can I ask a question about that, please?
Of course.
Is the Wi-Fi on all the time, or can you turn it off?
If you
Or
click
off
on
and
it,
on? Say again?
if you click on it, you can see there's an on-off for Wi-Fi up here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, I know, because I know on my e-reader, I have it off, and anytime I want to get something there, I have to turn it on. And yet I was noticing that the iPad is always on, so I see why now. I could turn it off if I wanted to, right?
And turn it off if you want to save battery life.
Thank you.
Now, I turn it on my iPad and my iPhone, and there's one area that's significantly different. You'll notice on my iPad, it says Bill's iPhone 12 Pro. And I could, and it's locked, has a passcode associated with it. I could treat my iPhone like a normal router. Okay? Like Frontier 1760, which is the router in my home. If I clicked on that, and I just lost my screen on there. Hold on. Okay. If I clicked on there, my iPad would treat my iPhone like a router. And anything I did on my iPad would go through my iPhone. Now you might be saying, why would I want to do that? Well, we're in the car. My wife pulls out her iPad and wants to check out something on the internet. Well, the iPad that she has will not connect to a cell phone tower. Meanwhile, my phone does. So my phone's on the internet through the cell phone tower. So it's kind of like a relay. When she clicks on Bill's iPhone 12 Pro, the phone acts as a relay for her to be able to get on the internet through cell phone towers. There's Patty's phone on my phone. So you get the idea, everybody? Yes?
Yeah.
I can't see your head, so I don't know if you're shaking them. No or yes.
Bill, is that the same thing as using a hotspot, or is that something different?
It is. It is exactly like a hotspot.
Okay.
That's what it is. Okay. And in fact, on your iPhone, mine, and I just switched my iPhone, you see where it says personal hotspot? If I click that, I can turn it off. And then I wouldn't see it on my iPad.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Question,
go ahead.
does that have to do with your carrier? Does the carrier have to allow a personal hotspot?
Yes.
Yeah, because my settings don't show my networks. Is that why?
If you go to cellular, there may be a feature in cellular about hotspot. See where it says, I went to cellular on my phone. And it says personal hotspot there. Ooh, can't see my phone again? Okay, I gotta do it again. Hold on.
Set a personal hotspot, yeah.
Have your phone.
I turned off Wi-Fi and turned it back on again, and I lost. There we go. Oh,
My 6 class, I'm gonna do a little laundry. Do you have that?
Yes, I do. I thought about it earlier this morning, so leave it. And as soon as it's over, I will add my things to yours.
whoever speaking is coming through, so Matt, mute yourself.
So just so you-
You see, I tapped on cellular and it says hotspot and I turned it on.
Uh-huh.
And you may, if you have a carrier, you may have that option here. They also may say you have to contact the carrier and you do it. Okay?
Yeah.
Bill, you have unlimited data then.
No, I don't.
Isn't that dangerous?
Well, no, I turn it on, but there's a passcode associated with it, so other people can't get on it.
Okay,
In fact, let me go there. There's the first couple digits of the
Okay.
passcode. And you can change that.
right.
Pardon me?
Yes, I
Okay.
see that.
All right.
On the networks on the iPad, I have a listing of a whole bunch of networks. I noticed on yours, you only have the 2.
Right, well, I'm not near anybody's house.
Say again?
I'm not near any others.
Oh, so I can't turn these off. They just automatically come on?
Right, it's
Thank
searching
you.
and finding them.
Okay, and being that I live in an apartment, I guess that's why I have so many.
Exactly. And
It
if
also
I-
has my printer on there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Some of them are interesting too. What their call letters are, or what their names are.
If there's no lock there, you can use their router.
669.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa. Oh, no.
The next one I have is Bluetooth. Bluetooth allows you to talk to devices within 10 feet of you. All right.
Okay, when I clicked on Bluetooth, the little word device has its rotating symbol, which means it's trying to find some devices that are near me.
That's correct. There's right there, all the ones that I have connected. And I don't know where my pencil is right now. I put it somewhere. Okay.
Oh, would have to connect. I've never gotten the pencil to work. So
What you do is you do this and plug in your pencil and then type connect and it'll find it.
thank you.
Okay. but I have a wireless keyboard. Not this one, but another one. I have AirPods, which are earbuds. Oh, what's the triathlon? My TV is listed there, so I could hook to my TV. So if I had a movie on my iPad, I could have display it on the TV through Bluetooth. All right, next one down is notifications. Okay. What are notifications? If you put your finger on the top, let's see, corner, up here on your iPhone, up here on your iPad, and pull down,
That's your notifications.
those are your notifications. Okay,
And assuming that it's there, that they stay there until you delete them by swiping them to the left.
that's correct.
Okay. I have a bunch I didn't look at yesterday.
Listed below on your iPhone and iPad are all the apps that, and I'll use this word carefully, capable of delivering notifications to you. And whether they do or not is up to you. So for example, I have the Apple Store here. And then I have the App Store. That's the application store versus the Apple where you go, where you buy iPhones, iPads, computers. If you click the arrow at the end of that line, and I turn on notifications, I have the capability of controlling the notifications. How do I want to receive them? All right. Do I want to receive them when I have not gone through the lock screen yet? Do I want them to appear in the notification center that I pull down, like so? And do I want them to appear as a banner when they come to me at the top of the screen? Okay. So when the Apple Store sends me a notification, would it appear at the top of the screen or not? That's what the little check mark is for. And then if it appears at the top of the screen, is it persistent or is it temporary? And by temporary, we mean it would appear here at the top, and then it would disappear probably 10 seconds later or 15 seconds later. So if you don't see it, it's gone. I have most of my notifications, if I have the banner set, I have it be persistent. In other words, it shows up here at the top until I flick it out of the way. When it shows up, do you want your machine to make a sound, your device? And do you want it to include the badge? That's the icon that represents the Apple Store, or the application store in this case. Okay?
Can you go back to the one where you have lock screen notification and banners?
Yep. So the lock screen, I can turn it off by just clicking on it. So if I get a notification, it will not show up on the lock screen.
Okay.
This just means I'm allowing the notification center, it will post it in the notification center, which if I put my finger in the top left of the screen and pull down.
Like you were doing.
Like that.
Yeah.
It would appear there.
Okay.
If I turn that off, it wouldn't.
Okay.
And the banner, when it first comes out, would be a notification to you that you got something from the App Store.
And it's only at the top.
And it's only at the top. And it appears automatically. You don't have to do anything.
And this, you have to do that for each of the banners, for each of the notifications you have on your iPad or phone.
You have to control it, right?
Okay,
Here's where
thank you.
Here's where you control it. So I'm not getting any notifications from Amazon. Well, I'm getting a banner from Amazon. Let me turn that off. So I'm just going to turn off notifications from Amazon. Okay.
You don't buy from Amazon?
No, I don't. Yes, I do.
Notifications are good. They tell you when your package is arriving.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Maybe I should turn that back on.
Yes, maybe.
Do I want it to make a sound? Oh, yeah.
He doesn't like that.
Nah.
And I'll have to put the badge on there too.
No.
Now, what sound does it make? Ooh. Well, guess where that's located?
Okay.
That's in sounds. And we'll get there in a minute. Okay. So I think I've covered notifications pretty well.
Thank you.
All right. That's how you use notifications and set it up. Now, if we go to sounds, there's alerts.
Chimes and bells, like,
I don't see a sound for notifications. Do you?
No.
I don't either. Anybody know where that is? Oh, announce notifications up here. Well, that's
It's on when you click on the word, click on what it is you want to have a notification. There's the word sounds under, at least on mine iPad. There it is.
But that just allows the sound or doesn't allow it.
Oh.
What sound does it make?
Oh.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
I don't know. Anybody know what that is, Bill or Greg?
Maybe it makes the same sound everywhere.
I'm sure it does. But does it play?
Yeah, you have to go to sounds and settings, I think, don't you?
That's where I am right now, and there's nothing there. Notifications.
Ooh.
It doesn't say notifications. I'm sure it's not going to play someone's calling. Anyway, hey Bill, could you see if there is one for that?
Checking.
If we go to sounds now, all right. If you have earphones, they have put in a feature for sounds to reduce the loudness of any sound coming through the earbuds or earphones. Okay, so you can control that so it's not going to destroy your hearing. If it makes a sound, here's the volume of the sound it will be. And I can change that. Get the idea? Right? Now, if all of you could hold trying this for just a minute, and then you can play. All right? You see where it says change with buttons? What that means is I can set this level to anything I want, but I can change it with the volume buttons on your iPhone or iPad. So if I turn this off, it's going to be always, and I can't adjust them by when it's happening. I can't go to the volume buttons on my device and change it. If I have this on, I can change the volume. Okay. Now, hold on, and then you're gonna play, okay? If you have ringtones, here's, come on, no, don't play. If you have ringtone, if you want a ringtone, you click the arrow next to it. And some general things here. First of all, you can go to the tone store and get things. Right? So you can purchase a tone, and that's where I got Someone's Calling. All right? And I downloaded and I paid $2.98 or whatever for it. Okay?
Bill, if you
Yes.
go back to notifications,
Got it?
go to messages.
Messages. Down to messages?
I know.
Okay, this is, of course, that's where it will be. Of course. Okay, hold on. Notifications, scroll down to
No.
messages. Okay. And
Click on the arrow, and
yeah,
then you've got sounds horn. I have the Bloom sound on mine.
I see. And so that's where all of them are set?
That's what Apple says. It came back, this is iOS 15,
Okay,
and it says go to settings, notification, messages, choose the option, allow notifications on or off, set the position, choose the alert sound for the messages, and choose when message preview should appear.
yeah.
And it appears to be specific to 15 because I don't see it on I haven't upgraded my phone yet. I've only upgraded the iPad.
So that's where you change the sound for messages. I see. Okay.
Bill,
Yeah.
I also believe unless 15 changed it, you can go into an individual's profile, because I have individual sounds for people that I text with all the time.
Well, that's texting. We're going to get to that.
That you can either for texting or for phone calls, you can change.
Well,
the-
messages.
You can even have this is in the notifications system.
That's for messages, right? Yep.
Right.
I understand.
Put stuff back on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to sounds, everyone. And what you're allowed to do is change the sound certain things make. And there's the text tone. That's the messaging tone. And apparently that's the one for notifications as well. And if I'll play with that a minute. I'm going to go to, it says horn. And what you can do, I can go from nothing. I downloaded T-Rex. Okay. But here's the default for a note. I don't even know if you heard that. But I can pick any one of these. And these are the newer ones that they've come out with. And then they have a bunch of classic ones down here. If I click classic, here are a whole bunch more sounds. And that's where horn is. Okay. So I can change that for my mail, sent mails, popcorn. I'm going to change that back. I like the swish sound when I send something. That's the popcorn sound. But if I go to the swish sound, you can't hardly hear that one. I prefer that one. So I'm not going to say anything for a while, and I want all you to play with it a little bit. Okay? Change some sounds on something.
Yeah, I know how to change sounds. I think he's got a bad cold. He's never.
Bill, can you do your Harry Potter?
Damn.
Problem is you gotta remember what they are.
Okay. I muted everybody so you could play a little more.
Just one comment. I was reading an article that said if you could like have a different sound for every person in your contact list, but if you have more than 3 or 4, you start losing the ability to know which sound is with which person.
Yeah, I actually did that, Bill. I had about 6. And whenever I got one of those sounds, I I didn't know which one it was. But for 1 or 2, it's kind of cool. And I'm going to show folks how to do that. All right. So you have a general ringtone for someone calling you. You can also set up a ringtone for individuals. And the way in which you do that is you go to your contacts. So I went back on my iPhone now. I went back to contacts. You can do it on your iPad as well. You go to contacts, and let's say I have Patty Crow here. Okay, and I scroll down here, like I scroll down, and there's a ringtone down there. And I can tap the arrow there and I can change the sound it makes for my wife. So this is what it is now. Okay. Now a little story about that. My wife discovered this and she changed my ringtone . She changed my ringtone to this. So I changed her ringtone to this. Not really.
I really did have my husband's ringtone as a bark, and when he found out, I took it off.
What did I have my wife? I'll make it that one now. Isn't that nice? Or all right, everybody?
Question. I'm in the contacts, but I don't see where you select a ringtone in the contacts.
Okay, let me go there.
You have to be in the edit mode of a contact.
No, I didn't, Bill.
Oh,
thank
I
you.
had to go into edit.
Now I see it. That makes sense. Thank you.
If you have, I don't have to go into ringtones in 15. You may have to go into edit
Right.
in
That makes sense. Thank you.
previous versions.
Oh, you can have this one for text tones too.
Yeah.
That's great. People you text a lot.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Bill, I have 15 and I didn't have one set for my wife.
Yep.
And I noticed once I set one specific to her, and then got out of the edit, then it is available to edit after that.
Ah, so initially you have to, okay, go into edit mode to get it there. Okay. Okay, we have something called focus. I'm not going to spend time there because that's a new item in iOS 15. Screen time is a information. If you go to screen time, it tells you how you've been using your device. Okay. For my iPad, it's an average on time of 2 hours and 41 minutes. For my, let me see, screen time for my phone, 2 hours and 41 minutes. Wow, that's weird. Looks the same on both devices. And then if I tap on see all activity, you can see what you're using. So I've been teaching a class on settings a lot. So you'll see it on my iPad, it's 2 hours, 3 hours. And on my iPhone, it's 48 minutes. So it's just an informative kind of thing to see what you're doing on your device. Well, that's screen time on all devices. I got it. Now, if I go back one more and I go to general, a lot of the times I end up going to general when I'm in settings. And I'll go to it on both devices. The first one there is really nice because if you tap on about, it gives you all this information on your device. The first one is your name. And if yours says iPad or iPad Air, I recommend that you click the arrow next to that. And at the very least, put your name in front of it. Okay. Just move the cursor to in front of it and then adjust. Tap the screen just in front of the eye in this case and type in BILL space. Oh, backspace. I'm going to make it bills. BILL. Okay. A lot of people ask me, why do you do that? Well, if you're in a situation where your phone needs to be identified, this is what they use for the identification. The situation could be something called AirDrop, which we will talk about later. But it's not, you're not putting out a whole lot of identity there. Just put something there that identifies. You know, you can say Trixie or Marge or I could have put, you know, my nickname, right? Handsome. my nickname from Siri. Tells you the software version you currently have, the name of your device, which is really nice. They didn't used to have that. And the model and the serial number. If you ever contact Apple, they'll want to know the serial number.
Bill, could you tell us what is Apple Care Plus?
Two incidents of accidental damage every 12 months until your plan expires.
Okay. Thank you.
I guess that means if I break the screen, they'll replace it. I don't.
They'll replace it at a reduced cost, but it still will cost you money.
Okay. And I didn't even know I had it. Okay. And I'm sure I'm going to get a notification to add it at some point.
They're letting you extend it now.
Yep. Okay. And I assume I'll get a message at some point, like
Yes.
December 10th, that says you want to extend it.
Yes.
Because my iPad's relatively old, so I'm surprised.
I don't know if they're doing it on all, but I know with the newer models, they are extending the warranty at a cost.
Good.
I have it under settings on my iPad, which is ancient.
Yeah.
It's available. Paid repairs and service, it says available, and phone support, it says available.
Oh, available, but mine says expired.
Well, my coverage is expired too, but then it says under that, it says service options.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, mine expires the end of this year. So
Right.
I look at songs, right? You can see on my iPhone and iPad, I have quite a few songs, more on my iPhone than the iPad. The photos should be the same number because they're synchronized.
Mine are not the same number.
I don't know why.
I know. I don't know why either. We've discussed this before.
Are they,
Forget it the same number.
are they less than 10 off, or are they really different?
No, now they're very close. They're only 2 off now. So I just ignore it. It's close enough.
I'm one off.
Thousands of them.
I know, so do I. And they sync now. I used to be one off too. Anyway, applications are different. The capacity you have.
Bill,
Go ahead, Jim.
may I ask a question?
Sure.
On my iPhone, I've got 1,242 songs, but on my iPad, it's 621. So it seems doubled on my iPhone.
It does.
Why would that be?
Maybe you downloaded them twice. I don't know. Are the songs duplicated each one?
I don't know.
It has something to do with syncing and backup.
Syncing, maybe, yeah. And Jim, did you download them from your computer or get them from the Apple Store?
From my computer.
Okay.
I synced it with a computer.
Yeah. See, I've synced with my computer as well on both devices. And I have things from the Apple Store. Apple Music. And they're different. Okay. So I'm assuming that I downloaded more to my phone, which was my intention, than I did to my iPad. But to be exactly doubled, boy, that's interesting. I would check the songs and see if you have each one twice.
Okay, let me just see.
The other thing to pay attention to your.
I have none on my iPad, but because I downloaded everything off of the computer to my phone earlier, and none of them went through that Apple migration to try to sell me to put them on iTunes, I think.
Yeah. Actually, I put mine in iTunes and then downloaded. Or I had the computer, had the iTunes program, put them in iTunes. for everybody, the available one is the important one there. Okay? I have 9 gigabytes on my iPad there and 65 on my iPhone. If you're getting down to the 2, well, let's say 3 or less gigabytes available, you should probably take some steps to reduce the amount of space that you're using. The primary way to do that is with photos. Maybe clean up your photos, because it's 1,000,000 bytes per photos, or videos if you have those. Understanding that if you delete them from your iPad or iPhone, it will delete them everywhere. So it should be things you don't want to save, or things that you've backed up somewhere else, like your computer, or using Google Photos, or something like that. And we talk about that when we get into photos.
Do you remember how many gigs 15 takes?
No, I don't.
Thanks. I can check that. Thanks.
Yeah. The other way is to start going through your applications and getting rid of applications. And
Before you go out of this section, how do you update your software version?
I'm going to do that next. We'll do that next.
Thank you. I didn't miss.
You didn't miss anything. You're exactly at the right place to be asking the question. If we're still in general, and I went back one click where it says general at the top right of your screen on the iPad, in the center of your screen on the iPhone. And it says software update. Whoa. Okay. And you tap there. And everybody, I think, should have where it says automatic updates, you should have that on. And you should have it on for both download and install.
And mine doesn't show that. It only shows the version I have.
Doesn't, how old's your device?
Got it last November.
Doesn't say automatic updates at the top?
No, it says it's the 8th generation, model number iPad 8th generation. It just says software version 14.7.1.
Okay, you didn't quite go.
Automatic update.
You didn't go quite far enough back. Yours says about at the top. Tap the back arrow one more time.
Do what again?
Okay.
The about has.
No, you don't want about. You want software update. Still there? Did I lose Leah?
I clicked on software version. It went from 14.7.12 in parentheses 18.
No, you don't click there. You go hit the back arrow at the top. So you're in about. Hit the back arrow at the top to where it says general. Are you there, Leah? No, yes.
Yes.
And then where it says software update, tap that. Not about.
I got it. And it says software update at the top. And then it says 14, what my pad is and so forth. This update provides important information.
But it doesn't say automatic update at the top?
It does say, and it says it's on.
Good. All right. And if you
Then down at the very bottom, down at the bottom, it says available, also available upgrade.
Correct.
To iPad OS 15.
Right.
Now that's not the same as an update, is it?
Yes.
Oh. That's what I should.
Yes. You can, at the end of the class today, plug your device in and go ahead and do that.
Thank you.
Is it necessary to upgrade to the 14.8 before 15, or can we go directly to 15?
I would go to 14.8 first.
You'd want to do that right away because of the security updates.
That's right, absolutely.
Why doesn't it automatically update or show you it's going to, whereas my phone does?
Okay. Did you have automatic update? Click.
It says on.
Okay, tap that and make sure it's download and install are both green.
Yes, they are.
Okay. Do you plug in your phone, iPad
Mhm.
at night and don't turn it off? Do not turn it off.
Not necessarily.
That's what you have to do.
Okay. In other words, I leave it on and plug it in, just like the phone.
Perfect.
Gotcha. I'll do that tonight.
Okay. Good.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bill, I think update and upgrade are two different things.
Well, one
That's
goes to upgrades going to the 15, it switches versions, right? 14,
Yes.
15.
But update brings you this, any security changes and stuff, where upgrade brings in new features.
Well, you get new features sometime when you go to 14.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So that's why I didn't separate that, Craig.
Okay.
But yeah, when they use the word upgrade, they're going from a major, they're doing a major update. They're adding a lot of new function. Big announcement at Apple, right? You get to see it and they talk about it. You can go on the internet and say, what are the new features in iOS 15, etc., which is a class we'll have later on. Okay. AirDrop is the next thing in the list here. You go to AirDrop. AirDrop is, oops, somebody's, I'm going to mute again, mute all. There we go. Okay, we all there? Can you hear me? No, you can't. You can't. You can nod your heads, but okay. I'm now in settings, and then I went to general, and now I'm going to AirDrop. And AirDrop has three ways of working. You cannot get AirDrop. Well, first of all, what is AirDrop? AirDrop is an easy way to transfer information from your device to someone else's device that's in the same room you're in. Okay. The only requirement for this to work is you have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi turned on. If those two things are on, and you have everybody selected, and the best example is of this. I'll create a scenario. You're on a cruise and you've met some really nice people and you're having drinks with them before dinner, and you each went on a different excursion during the day. And they said, boy, that dog sledding thing was really great. And you're saying, well, I saw 3 whales and got all these pictures. And they say, well, can you send me the pictures of that? And if you have AirDrop, it's easy to do that. Now I'll show you how it works. If you have everybody turned on AirDrop, now I'm going to go there. It's not going to work here because none of you are within 10 feet of me. But if I go to my pictures, there's pictures. And I pick a picture. Let me pick a picture here. Okay, I'll pick this picture. All right. On my screen, on your screen, you just see the picture. On my screen, there is a share box. That's the square with the arrow coming out the top. And I tap that, and another screen shows up with the word AirDrop on it. I tap AirDrop, and it will list the people I can AirDrop it to. Okay, in my case, it only says, and you can't, well, let me do this. Okay, I'm taking a picture of my iPad screen. Okay, this is the picture of that you see on your screen, right? On my iPad. And if I go hit the box here at the top, it says AirDrop right there. If I tap AirDrop, it says I can AirDrop this to my iPhone because it's within 10 feet. If you were in the same room, your icon with your name that we just updated in general would appear here, and you could tap it and it would transfer the picture to that particular individual.
Bill, yeah, when you send a picture this way, you have to remember that it will save it in date order. So if you're sending them an old picture, that picture may be way back in history in their camera roll.
Okay, and he's right. And so you may have to search a little bit to find it. Okay. Let me do that. Let me see what happens. I'll go there. I tap AirDrop. I'll tap my phone. And on my phone, look what happened. Okay. It shows up there. And it got sent. And now, Greg, it showed up as the current picture on my iPhone. So it may change that so that the date gets changed to the date it got added to your device.
Yeah, that's a change because it used to put it in date order.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, but you're in albums. Go to library. You're in albums in that.
I'm in recent, right? I'm in recent.
Yeah, that's in recent. That's why it's showing up.
There's
if you go to library.
There's today.
Okay. Well, you did teach an old dog a new trick.
We all get those. I get them every day, Greg. All right.
Did you actually take those pictures?
Aren't they great?
They're awesome.
Send me an email. I'll send you a couple of them.
That didn't answer my question, but I guess the snicker did.
I think they were on the phone when he stole it from somebody.
Look at all these. That one and that one. They're all pictures of the moon. I have one here of a chimney. There's the one that looks like the balloons being blown off the top of the sail.
That was my favorite one, Bill.
This one?
No, the one before that.
That one?
Oh, I love it. I saw that. Amazing.
Okay. This is one I kind of like.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're in general, we were talking about AirDrop. I'm not going to go into AirPlay. Picture in picture, you just have to have that on. And if you have a video going or a Zoom meeting going and you flick up, the Zoom meeting will still be on the screen on your iPad. All right. And you can be going other places. iPad storage. Okay. And this is the place you go if you're getting full. You can enable offload unused apps. If you haven't used an app in 2 months, I'm not sure what they use for a criteria there, but I would have bet it's something like that. You can tap enable, and it will, in my case, it's going to save me 26 gigabytes. I have a lot of apps on here that I don't use. And it would save me all that space. It also lists the apps by the amount of space the application takes. Okay.
Can you remove those apps on this page, or do you have to go to the app?
No, you can go right here. That's a very, oh, I'm glad you asked that question. If I wanted to get rid of ink cards there on my iPad, you see it? If I just tap, it says I can offload the app, which means it takes it off. It will free up the storage, right? But keep the documents associated with it. So if there is a game you're working on and you get rid of the game, you can offload the app. But where you were in the game, you know, you're on level 23 or whatever, it would remember that. And if you download the app again, it would pick up from where you left off. If you delete the app, it will delete the app and its data. Okay.
And it can't be undone, it says.
Yeah, that's correct. You can't get the data back. You can reload the app,
But not the data.
but the data will be gone. Okay. And
Thank
it tells you how much data that app is taking. So I could save 228 meg. That's a lot of space, right? And still maintain the data. So if I ever want to use that app again, I can get it back and its data I would still have. Okay. That answer your question?
It did.
All right. Good. Oh, this is a good one. Background app refresh. I have it turned off. Allow apps to refresh their content when Wi-Fi is on. Many apps want to get information, get up to date. And if you have it turned on, they will update, so the next time you use it, it'll be good shape. You turn it off if you want to conserve battery life, because I don't want my 300 apps trying to update all the time. Okay. So if your battery life is not that good, here's one of the places you go to improve the battery life and turn it off.
Like Google Calendar, do you have to make that a backup refresh?
What it will do is it will update when you open it.
Even without the backup refresh on?
Correct. Google Calendar is not trying to back up if you're not using it, but when you open it, it will automatically back up. It will automatically get the new data.
Thank you.
Okay.
Excuse me, how long does the battery last?
Say again?
How long should you expect your battery to last?
Let me go to. Can you wait until we get to battery?
Oh, sure, thanks.
Well, I'll answer the question since we may not get to it today. If I tap on battery and Am I thinking of my phone? I was hoping to get battery health. Let me go to my phone for a minute. It's the iPhone most of the people have problems with. And you see where it says battery health? Okay. And if I tap that, it tells me my maximum capacity is 95% on my phone. So my phone's about a year old now, and it used to go to 100%.
My battery has COVID.
What's it read to?
I'm sorry, where is the battery under?
On the iPhone.
I got it. I got it.
On the iPhone.
Got it.
And it's under battery health. So you tap in settings, you go to battery.
Yep.
Then battery health. All right.
Oh, yes, yes.
If it's below 70%, then your battery is older. And I don't think it's that much.
Say that again, please.
Okay. How to get there or about it?
No, just what you just said about batteries in good health or not good health.
If it's greater than 70%, it's still a usable device. If it gets below 70%, you're going to find your battery doesn't last that long.
Thank you.
Okay.
And there isn't such a setting on an iPad.
I didn't find it. I thought there was, and there's not.
So mine just goes to last charge to 65%. So.
Yeah. So that's, oh, you only charge, what's it say for maximum capacity?
It's maximum. Where do I find that maximum?
On battery health, it should say maximum capacity.
Okay.
If it goes down
83%.
80%, they'll change it.
83.
No, change it, but they charge you for it, right?
No,
No, they
I
do.
have
Be careful there.
no, Apple Care,
Oh, you have Apple Care, okay.
right.
Excuse me, 83% is good then?
Yeah, that's not bad.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
But the iPad doesn't have battery health on it.
Does not, yeah.
So what do you look for? Battery level?
It looks like it on the screen there. You see it says battery level, and let me change it to 10 days. Yeah, it looks like the maximum I get to is about 95%.
That's pretty even.
Okay.
Then you get a thing that talks about what apps, the battery usage that individual apps use, the ones that you use the most.
Right. Well, it should be, right?
Yes.
Okay. Back to general. All right, we're going to go back to general now. We answered that question. We go back to general. Date and time. Oops, date and time. I have show AM and PM on the status bar, show date in the status bar. And you'll notice at the top of my iPad, that's where it is. Right? There's not that much on the iPhone, except I have set date automatically. Do you know what that means? If your device discovers that it's in a different time zone, it will adjust the time.
That's nice.
It is, yep. So if you take off in New York and you end up in California, it will switch to the California time.
It's more than watches do. Some watch.
Right. Keyboards. Couple of things here about keyboards. Number one, it said mine says keyboards 3 at the top. Keyboard 7 at the top here. I have a bunch of fonts, but I do have a Korean keyboard, right? On my iPad. So if I say add a new keyboard, I tap it and I can get different keyboards. So if you're used to a different type of keyboard, you can get it. Okay?
Do you speak Korean?
안녕하세요. That was good morning.
Wow.
Or good day. No, I don't speak very much Korean. My daughter-in-law is South Korean.
Oh, okay. That's what. All right,
I
good.
learned some Korean. Okay? And if she wants to use my device, she can use the Korean keyboard.
Okay, thank you.
That's why I did it. And I'll show you how you use that. But you can add these other keyboards as well. And I do have a font keyboard on here, and I'm not going to go there right now. All right. So if I wanted to use the Korean keyboard, let me do it on my phone here. I have an external keyboard on my iPad. And if I want to change, I'll do it on the iPad. If I click, oh, it's not going to work. Okay. If I go to a place where I would type a note. And you see the globe there at the bottom? If I tap the globe and I select the Korean keyboard, that's what it looks like. And when I type, I'm not sure what I type, but I better erase it. Get the idea? If I tap the globe again, it goes to the various different keyboards that I have. All right.
How would you do that on the iPad?
Same way. I go to note. I'll start a new note. And let me disconnect. Get out of notes. If I can get the keyboard to show up. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to get it to show up. It does show up on the iPad as well.
On the iPad, you just have to make sure that the keyboard comes up, period, which if you click, put your finger on it to start typing, that will happen.
Except on mine right now.
Sorry about that.
because I have the external keyboard, it's giving me a headache there. So there's a problem. And I could power down and power back up, and it would probably work, but I don't want to do that right now. But if you have the keyboard show up on your screen, like on my iPhone here, you should have the globe down here. And that will give you the different keyboards.
So in essence, you go to what it is you want, like if you were sending an email, you would go to emails first and then select the keyboard.
Correct.
And where is the globe? I don't.
If you don't have a globe, the only thing you have is a picture of an emoji. You don't have additional keyboards. What you have to do.
But you said you had a globe, and I
Okay.
still haven't seen it.
That's the picture that was there. Let me pull it up again. I'll do it on both my, no, I can't. I'll do it on the iPhone. Most of us will have this picture. If you have more than one keyboard, you'll also have this.
What is this you're saying? Because I don't see a globe. All I see is 1, 2, 3 and an emoji.
You don't see the, my mouse pointer is circling it.
Down on the bottom left corner of his phone.
Yeah, but oh,
Now, if you have an older iPhone or iPad, that may not be there, and you may have just the picture.
I have it now. I had moved the gallery pictures and it was covering up the picture of your iPhone.
Gotcha. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm going back to my iPad and I'm just going to type on keyboards, and you had to add an additional keyboard if you wanted that globe there. Okay. A couple of things more about the keyboard is you have something called text replacement. Okay, there's something called text replacement there. If I tap that arrow, it comes up and shows me the text replacements I have. And these are shortcut keys you can use on the keyboard. For example, if I type in the WTC anywhere and hit the space bar, WTC will be replaced by William T. Crowe. If I type in 2 @, I'll get my entire Gmail address. If I type in looks like a 0 and an @ or an O and an $, I will get my Verizon email address. Your question might be, well, these are cool. How could I add my own? You add your own by clicking the plus sign. And the first thing you type is the phrase you want to appear after you've entered the shortcut. So I want the phrase "Hi all" to appear. And what I'm going to type to get "Hi all" is 2 exclamation points side by side. I better make that 3 because sometimes I want to type in just 2 exclamation points. And then I tap save. So now if I go to my home screen and I go to a place where I would type something, and I type in exclamation point, and I hit the space bar. Ooh. I guess not. Wait a minute.
I think
That's
you did
because you
3.
changed it. You gotta do
Three.
3 of them.
Oh, thank you. Space bar. There we go. All right. I get high all. Okay. Back to settings. There's a thing called autocorrect, which would autocorrects my my spelling for example. Check spelling. I want to use shortcuts, which is what this was, right? Predictive. That's the little bar that appears above the keyboard. For example, on my iPhone, it's right here. So when I start typing something, like I type, whoops, give me the keyboard back. I type H-A-P, oh, Pappy. And then I could type just, it says birthday's a suggestion. Why don't I type birthday? And there's happy birthday. And then I could say to you. And then I could say all. So it's predicting what you might type if you continue typing. Smart punctuation, for example, if I hit the space bar twice, 1, 2, whoops, 1, 2, I get a period. Enable fleet, I can't do it because my iPad isn't working. On the Android phones, there was this feature called sliding or flicking, where you put your finger on one letter. Let me do it here. I'll put it on the Y, I'll click, and then I'll move to the S, and then I would get I would get Y and S to appear. And I don't, if I go Y, E, Y, S, C, there's Y, E, S, space. I'll put my finger on the N and slide it up to the O. So it's sliding your finger around the screen. Around the keyboard to actually type the word you're interested in. For people who are accomplished at this, it's very quick. Shortcuts. Is on. Enable dictation puts the little microphone down here at the bottom. So instead of typing, I can tap the microphone, say, how is everybody today? Period. New line. Get the idea? Some people use it constantly, especially on their phones, because it's much easier than using the keyboard.
Bill, is there any way to teach Siri when you're doing that with the microphone? The spelling, it's just, I was trying to text, use the microphone, and I said very clearly, saline, and it put in Celine.
Dion, like in Dion.
Right.
right?
All right.
Let me show you how you do that. I'm going to go to Siri. Hi, Siri.
Hello there, I'm Siri.
Celine.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Celine.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Celine.
I'm not sure I understand.
So what I did was, oh, hold on. Let me turn off Siri for a minute. What you can do is tap what Siri thought you said. Now, I don't think it works when you're doing just dictation. So you can do it by saying, Celine. And then I tap the arrow.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
You see, and it's spelled Celine. If I want that to be different, I'll backspace.
Sorry, you can tap above to type instead.
Oops, that's the Korean keyboard. Let me switch the keyboard here. I want it to be, is it Celine?
Yes.
Okay. And then press enter, and it should correct.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Celine.
Sorry, you can tap above to type instead.
Saline solution. Okay.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
So I think it should work.
Sorry,
now.
you can tap above to type instead.
So now if I go to my notes and I hit the microphone, saline. Oh, stop it. Saline. Oh.
It's nice to see. Boy, you have to be an artist to be able to.
You do.
Write in Korean. Wow.
Say, okay. Now let's get our keyboard back here. Michael. Saline. Oh, come on.
It doesn't work. I mean, seriously.
I know. I think it will correct itself, is what I'm trying to say.
I'll try.
Saline. Ooh, no, didn't work. That's the way they tell us to train Siri for your voice, is to correct it by tapping the little arrow.
Okay.
Excuse me, Bill, could I just ask a little off topic? Buying a new computer, iPhone. Now my SE is about 5 years old, and it still works. I know several of you have just bought new phones. Does it make any sense to go back to pay less and get a lesser model?
Sure.
iPhone?
Right now, as long as it's a 6S or greater, everything works the same.
Is SE included in that?
Yes, it is.
Oh. So the only thing would be better capacity, though. I only have 16 gigabytes.
That's correct. You probably would want to get a new phone just on that.
And the size of the.
Yes.
Anybody know where a good buy is?
Well, the SE is the best buy.
I'm sorry?
The newer SE is the best.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Where can I get an iPhone SE? Go to
Apple.com should be able to answer that question and more.
Bill, did you really think it would take you to Costco?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
There's the SE.
$1,700.
No, that wasn't the SE. This is the SE. It's still 670, 680.
Is there any difference really with the new 13? Other than 5G? I mean, you know, it's
Better camera, better processor, and better screen.
oh.
Better battery, I hope.
Yes, better battery.
That's one of the things they advertise was a better battery.
And depending on who your provider is, you can get a nice trade-in.
Yep.
Yep.
Someone told me they really got a good deal when they traded in one of their phones. I think it was an iPhone 10 for the new 13, and they got, you know, $500 or so.
Where?
I'm supposed to get 700.
Say again?
700.
Okay. I didn't
What?
I didn't want to exaggerate too much. So we got 700.
That's what they're telling me. I'm going to take and return the old one today. And they said it'll take a month or two, but I got $700 off of a $11.99 phone.
Really?
And
Where?
where?
Well, I went to Best Buy to do it, but it's through Verizon. It's Verizon that does
Oh.
it.
Okay.
What phone did you trade in, Sharon?
I traded in an X
Okay.
and I got the 13 Pro Max.
Wow. That's a good deal, right? Everybody?
Awesome.
Nothing wrong with that one.
Wow. But that's not an unlocked phone, correct?
It will be when she's done.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but you have to get one of the major carriers.
Right.
And they're very expensive. Their plans are very expensive, especially if you're one person.
What are you paying for your plan, Sharon?
I'm on my son's plan and there's like 6 or 7 of us and a watch. So we have a very high plan, but the individuals aren't expensive. But if you have an individual plan, I understand it is more expensive.
Okay. So
I'm just lucky.
You have a group plan or a family plan, something like that? All right. I'm going to stop right there on keyboard. Right. And the only other one I want to cover on general is at the bottom of the list there. Don't go there unless you're sharing and returning your device. Okay. This is a transfer or reset. You want to reset your device. And I'm going to tap it right now. Don't you tap it. Right. And it says reset, erase all content and settings. I don't want to do that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So don't go there.
I know you did not get to emails, but could I ask an email question?
Sure, of course.
If you have emails on your iPad and you want to delete 4 or 5 of them at one time, will that also delete them from your computer?
Let me ask you a question. What's your email address?
Gmail.
Yes. The answer is yes.
So in other words, I would have to delete each one individually, and will that delete it from Gmail, from my email account?
Yes, it will. They synchronize. What you're doing with Gmail, I'm assuming it's set up to be IMAP, I mean, and not POP03. That's the 2 different ways you can set up an account. And the default for everyone is IMAP. And what that means is your email is synchronized. All your email is in your case, Gmail cloud, and you have a copy of it on your devices. And when you change the copy, it changes the cloud, which changes it on the other devices as well. It works very similar to the pictures on your iPhone.
Ah, thank you.
Okay. Next time we'll start in Control Center. All right. There was these two Polish truck drivers. They're barreling along the highway and they come to this overpass. The sign on the overpass says, wait a minute, the sign on the I'll keep you in suspense. The sign on the overpass says, clearance 11 feet, 12 inches. Keep that 11 feet, 12 inches. So they get out and they measure their truck and they realize it's 11 feet, 6 inches. So the first Polak looks at the second Polak and says, I don't see any cops around. Let's go for it. It could have been Irish or it could have been English. Or all right, folks. I will see you next time, I hope.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I will be sure we can address.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Thank you, Greg and Bill.
Thank you very, very much.
For your help as well. All right.